That's all I'm saying.
You think so?
I know so.
We're getting a thumbs up.
We have the thumbs up.
I didn't hear a little tick, 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 tick.
I heard nothing.
Is that the new soundboard?
Maybe.
The new soundboard don't.
It sneaks up on us.
Can a new soundboard? Can you put a sound that tells you when it's recording? Mm-hmm. Tick, 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 tick. Or you just want to let the producer man do it.
We need to have like an intro music. That needs to be our next step. We need to find somebody to do us like a guitar solo or something. Have some intro music.
We could do our own intro music. We could
our very own.
We could have an original piece.
It should be "Lean on Me" by Bill Withers.
Lean on me
when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on.
Lean on me
when you're not strong. That's the same thing we just did. I do know the lyrics to that song.
I do too. That's a good song. That's a damn good song.
I especially like Bill Withers because he kind of did his thing and then got out and just became a regular dude again. Went back to live in his own old neighborhood and, and probably one of the best there ever was. Yeah.
Oh, Bill Withers.
Shout out Bill Withers.
Shout out Bill Withers, man.
They don't make them like that anymore.
No.
Maybe they do and we just don't know about it.
They make them different, Shane.
Bill Withers has kids, though.
They make them different now.
I wonder how he made his. Probably the same way.
How he made who?
His own kids. Like he probably raised them the same.
Kids? Like how you made your kids. You know exactly how you make kids. You want me?
I'm talking about how he raised them.
Want me to tell you?
How he raised them.
Oh, okay. I don't know how he raised them. Hopefully in an affluent neighborhood.
Probably the same way. I think he went back to his old neighborhood. I might be just making that up.
I get my money right. I ain't going back to my old neighborhood. I'm sorry, Dad. I'm not going. I'm not coming back.
I don't have an
I didn't go back.
I ain't going back. I ain't going back.
They say you can't go back.
I'm moving further away.
Moving on up.
I'm moving on up. I ain't gonna even tell nobody. Once this podcast blow up and I'm a millionaire.
Well, let's do an intro and then introduce our. Are we saying guest here? What are we?
This
member of the family.
Gepisode.
Yeah,
this
Gepisode.
Gepisode.
All right, you gonna intro us, Q? What you want to do, man?
Hey, I'm sitting here with
go
amazing father. His name is Anthony Gillon. He hails out of Atlanta, Georgia.
ATL.
He's here for my son's graduation tomorrow. Lil Q, Quintelis,
Lil
Jr.
Q
graduates high school tomorrow. So he finally came down here to see me. I've been waiting. I've been counting the days. And here he is. And he just so happened to come on the day we host our podcast.
Isn't that wild?
And so he's sitting here with us. He's going to enjoy the show. And hopefully he just chime in whenever. I ain't going to put no pressure on him, though. Because I want him to come back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I ain't gonna put too much pressure on.
Wait, were you saying we didn't want our other guests to come back?
Well, hey, whatever, but him, I want him to come back. Yeah, this was special. This is his first time gracing us with his presence in Huntsville, deep in the bowels of that 86 Kid studio.
That 86 Kid studio.
That's my introduction.
Appreciate that, son.
You got it, Pop. Yeah.
We got a fuzzy thing for a microphone? I bet we don't.
We don't got no fuzzy. We had the rubber band.
That's gonna
fuzzy.
I
just hold it away.
That's gonna be a joke. Kevin? You see, I pop my P's real bad. We've had this conversation like 20 times. I'm sure our listeners are tired of hearing that. I think you and I have the same thing. It must be the old guys.
Where did that come from? You remember that one?
The what? Hip-Hopanopolis.
It was in a movie. I don't even remember. It was some phrase in a movie. Yeah.
Hip-Hopanopolis.
Hip-Hopanopolis.
Sounds like I don't know what it sounds like.
I don't know what
it's not a dinosaur, but you almost want to think it might be a dinosaur.
Sounds like a hippo to me. Hip-Hopanopolis.
Hip-Hopanopolis.
Yeah, so we're
Snuffleupagus.
We got our illustrious producer, Kevin the Boss Man Richardson.
Kevin the Boss Man
The proprietor of that 86 Kid studio.
Proprietor, founder, owner, CEO.
He promoted himself.
Head grip.
He ain't waiting on a promotion. Promote yourself. Don't wait on nobody to promote you.
Example and role model to all of us, Mr. Kevin the Boss Man Richardson.
Kevin the Boss Man Richardson.
Without doubt.
Ooh.
Father, husband. Co-owner of a art gallery.
Yep.
Curated gallery.
Shout out Curated Gallery.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Shout out Ashe.
Shout out Ashe.
Look, shout out you, Q.
Why is that?
Just because you're here and amazing. You got a Q has a
flattery, Shane.
Q has a flowery shirt on. He looks festive. It's got bananas,
get you everywhere.
Palm trees, and a collar. Actually, a collar, semi-respectable. Semi-respectable is what
I do got.
Q the messenger.
I do got it unbuttoned though.
It is unbuttoned. All buttons.
I had to give it a cool factor.
Even the little bullshit button on the bottom is buttoned up. It's all 3 buttons of this polo that are unbuttoned.
Yeah. I had to give it a little cool factor.
It could be. It's like you see this guy and you go, okay, well, is he on vacation or is he not? He could be from Huntsville or he could be from ATL. You just never know.
You don't know.
He might be from Florida with that shirt on. It just looks like a shirt you'd wear on vacation because you're extra happy. So tell me why you're extra happy today, Q.
Well, my
psychoanalyzing.
Hey, my father's here. I got family coming in town, and my son's graduating high school tomorrow.
How much better does it get?
That's a hell of a milestone.
It is.
For him and myself.
I was going to say, yeah.
Yeah. It took me 18 years to get here.
But he made it.
He did.
He made it through the first hurdle, the first real hurdle.
He did. He really did.
That's the first real hurdle.
It's a lot to be festive about,
well,
Shane.
Congratulations, sir.
Yeah.
Proud for you. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. We'll be over at the house.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Of course. Wouldn't miss it.
Thank you.
I'm going to give Q a hard time, though.
Please do.
I mean, look, everybody's going to be giving him, I'm going to give him a card with like $1,000 in Monopoly.
I've been giving him a hard time the last 18 years.
See? But tomorrow he's going to have the big head. So maybe I'll be like we hadn't known each other enough for me to be Uncle Shane, but I'm going to mess with him. Maybe I'll give him a card full of Monopoly money.
Balance him out.
Just to make him look at it twice or something. Or
a reality check.
I need to find some of the, when the church people give you those tracts and they look like it's money folded up, and then you take it and you're like, oh shit, I thought they were giving me a 10 spot.
I thought it was $1 million bill.
It's a Jesus plaque or whatever. Yeah, get a bunch of those and stick it in the card for him. Be like, hey kid, we got you.
Yeah.
I'm going to get him a $10 gift card to McDonald's.
Hey.
You can't even get a meal for $10.
I don't know what I'm going to get him, Shane. I think I gave him the best gift I could give him. That's life.
I don't think my parents gave me anything for graduation. That I remember. I mean, maybe they did. I'm not real sure. But I cleaned up at graduation. My parents knew a lot of people, whatever. It was people I didn't know, and they a bunch of them sent me money. Thank you.
It is.
Hey, what's that Trump quote recently? If they give you the putt, smile and pick it up and walk off the green.
That's it.
If they say it's a gimme, just take it.
Just take it. Don't even. Just take it.
Yep. No sense in.
A freebie.
Yep. If you get a freebie, smile and be appreciative and.
I don't like being a charity case though, Shane. I'm kind of switching gears a little bit, but it's in the same realm of what we're discussing.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Yeah. But don't make me a charity case. Hey.
But I think also, how many times does life take from you?
Gimme.
Yeah, I agree for sure.
Gimme.
But if something falls into my lap,
well,
you know what I'm saying? And it's not like I took it from somebody. It just falls into my lap and something happens. Then you gotta take good fortune, because how often does some stuff get messed up?
I'd rather be lucky than good. Any day.
Yep.
And I'm rarely lucky though.
Yep. That's the
thing. I damn sure ain't good. So.
But the better I get, the more lucky I get,
Yeah, that's true. I'd rather be lucky than good, Dad. I'm telling you. And I'm neither.
What are we talking about this week?
I don't even know, Shay. We spitballing right now. I don't even think we really introed yet.
All right.
I introduced our guest.
Was that not our intro?
Oh.
How far are we in?
Are we leaving it at that?
I don't know. I thought we were.
We probably 10 minutes in now, Shane. We introduced.
Mr. Producer says 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You want to do another intro?
I think
10 minutes in?
I think my time calibrator is on point.
A mid-tro? That's a good point. You must be minutes. Jack reaching.
10 minutes.
10 minutes. It was probably 10 minutes exactly. Too.
We done done this long enough. I'm starting to get better. I kind of know what an hour feels like. Oh, we about 60 minutes.
Cue the messengers. That's true. You've been getting much better on
about 60 minutes.
The predictions.
I can know we get dangerously close.
Dangerously close to the
time limit.
I remember reading a motorcycle magazine one time, and the guy just talking about how he took a corner a little bit hot and drifted over the line a little bit. He said, some people never drift over the line. I do not envy them. Sometimes you got to take a chance.
Sometimes you do.
Sometimes it works out good. Sometimes it doesn't.
You only get one shot at that chance.
But when you come back from it.
That's what Eminem said. You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow it. Opportunity come once in a lifetime.
Lose yourself.
Bars.
You know, oh, you want to do Lose Yourself?
Bars, Shane, bars. Bars. That's the Great White Hope. Shout out Eminem.
Shout out Eminem. That's true.
The Great White Hope.
Have you noticed how many shorts there have been on YouTube with established rappers talking how great Eminem is? And it kind of coincided with this last album that he released?
No.
It's just...
Did the last album flop?
I don't know if it's too early to tell. I don't pay that close of attention.
I don't think he's as much of a mogul as Snoop Dogg has became.
Oh, I agree with that for sure.
You know, I think Eminem is more, older generations. You don't hear younger people praising Eminem, or you don't hear Eminem in younger folks' mouth like as you would Snoop Dogg. Everybody knows who Snoop Dogg is. I
think that's true, and I think part of that is because Eminem is kind of stuck to, he's a one-trick pony.
Yeah.
Snoop can do anything. He called the Olympics.
He called the
Olympics, man.
He called the Olympics.
Get that. Oh, get back. That was hilarious. What he called that?
I think the funniest thing, he was using the Olympic torch as a blunt. That was hilarious.
I didn't see that.
Oh, my goodness.
That's very funny.
He had the Olympic torch like a blunt.
No, Snoop is a genius, but that's another level of...
He's a mogul.
For sure.
He's a mogul.
For sure.
He's a mogul.
Yeah. And a couple of them are. Dr. Dre, for sure, but kind of for different reasons. He's more of a businessman.
Yeah.
He's not a...
I think the Beats kind of revitalized his career when he came out with the Beats, the headphones and all that.
I think Beats gave him seed money to do some other things that he's doing.
Yeah.
I think he invested all that money he made from Beats into some other stuff that's made him...
Shoot, he had to pay his wife a
Mr. Producer, what is...
couple million here not too long ago.
See if you can give us what is Dr. Dre's net worth.
And he just...
Dr. Dre's no joke.
He had to give up half of it a couple years ago.
Did he really?
To his old lady, yeah.
Remember we talked about rich and wealth, though.
His old lady left him. He had to give up half of it.
When you're wealthy, half does not,
What's $5 billion to 10?
What's $5 billion to 10?
Shoot.
Good point.
$5 billion.
What's $5 billion to 10?
Just a piece of mind you're going to have is probably worth that $5 billion.
Between $850 and $1 billion. Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre. All right. What about Fitty? Oh, Fitty.
I bet 50 ain't even pushing $1 billion yet.
50's half a billion, 500 million.
Dre is who put 50 Cent on, I want to say.
I'm saying $500 million. What do we got?
I'm saying 382.
That's a very specific number.
382 million. I'm gonna see if my calibrator is right. 50 Cent. Oh, yeah.
60 million?
He probably got one show that's worth that. He done came out with a whole bunch of shows. He done became like a producer. He's producing a lot. He's producing a whole lot.
I think 50 kind of keeps his...
I think he's really smart.
I think he keeps...
Man,
yeah, I think he keeps himself.
He does. He
to
is
himself.
Smart. He probably made that on that what was that energy drink deal he did? Was it vitamin water? Yeah, he probably made 60 million just on that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. 50, yeah. He good at hiding his money.
I like that though.
He's if you can get shot 9 times and survive, you a smart man. He know how to get shot.
You could just get lucky though.
Who knows how to get shot?
If you get shot in the wrong place, it don't matter who you are.
You got lucky 9 times? I think
it was all the same time.
I think it's a skill set.
It was 9 shots in one incident.
Yeah, and one in the face.
But it was one incident.
Yeah.
Like
9 times.
Wow, he knew just the right way to jink and jive.
It's a skill,
maybe he did.
It's a skill set to get shot 9 times, Shane.
I bet that other dude was shooting with his hands sideways. I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying.
Some people get hit once and gone. Oh, he only shot him once? Man, 50 took 9.
He took 9.
Damn. 9 times.
And had he not been shot, would he have ever gotten the fame that he did? I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe
it took him.
His raps were good, but they weren't that good, right?
I mean, if he never got shot, he probably would have been to the streets. You get shot 9 times, you probably wise up a little bit.
Oh,
you move a little bit differently. Shit, I don't want to get shot 9 more times.
Let me see what I can. Yeah, that's a good point.
Next time they gonna try to really kill me.
That's a good point.
Not that they wasn't
the
first
learn something
9
from
times.
That.
Yeah. You wise up big time. Life's a hell of a teacher, Shane.
But you got to be smart enough to follow up afterwards.
Who?
50 Cent?
50.
At the mall?
What mall?
Just random?
Roosevelt Field Mall.
Was he buying some shoes or whatever?
Did he have a bulletproof vest on? I would wear a bulletproof vest too if I got shot 9 times. He had a bulletproof wife beater vest.
You spoke to him? What you just right, just for sure.
You ever seen a Kevlar?
Yeah,
vest?
don't be disrespectful. You know, they got everybody trying to come up to him. Don't be a silly little fanboy. You know, I recognize you. You know, thanks, man.
We got to get Kevin a mic. Kevin over there just talking.
Yep.
We don't even hear what he's saying, and you talking to him, and that we have no clue.
Good point.
We're lost.
Thanks for bringing me back on point. Kevin, shut the hell up, man. You ain't on
Kevin,
mic. What the hell are you doing, man?
Get out.
Matter of fact, give me some more wine.
Get out the conversation.
Ah, man.
Let's get back on track.
So I have news.
You know, Kevin Shane go off rails real quick.
That's true.
Yeah.
I'm like a dog with a squirrel.
He off the rails.
But check it out, man. I have news.
I'm going off the rails on a crazy train. That's you right now, Shay. Get back on track, bro. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I ain't telling it now, man. You interrupted me 4 times, 5 times, 12, 9, 11.
Let's hear this news, brother. I'm sorry.
So last night, my younger daughter, for the first time, said, "I love you, Mommy. I love you, Daddy."
Wow.
For the first time.
Those specific words that clear like
exactly. With the sign language.
Wow.
I love you, Mama. She said that first. And then later on, when I was giving her a bottle, she looked up at me and she said, "I love you, Daddy," and signed it at the same time.
Shout out Maddy Rue.
Yeah. Maddy Rue.
Shout out Maddy Rue.
She's getting big.
She is,
just before her second birthday.
It's crazy how it just starts to click.
Yeah. And it's starting to click for her now, kind of like it did for Enzo. 6, 7. He's a good talker.
Yeah, he
He would repeat what you say. It was so funny that day he was over at the house. I can't remember what it was, but it just him saying his own name in combination. He just repeats what you're saying, but just with that smile of a child. I don't know. It's fun when they're talking like that.
Yeah, it is.
He's cool.
His size difference gonna make people think he's younger than what he is. That's just because you look at him next to Madeline, you be like, oh man, he's way younger than Madeline.
Way older than
you think he's way, but he's way older than her. He got about 6 months.
Yeah,
he got
about 6 months. As soon as you talk to him, but
she got a birthday coming up, don't she?
A couple weeks.
June 4th.
Is it the 4th or the 6th? I think it's the 4th.
Is it? It's your daughter, Shay.
Oh,
I don't put you on the spot.
It's early in June, man.
It's early June.
June the 4th or 6th, something like that. Yeah.
I know it's a few days after Leilani's. Leilani's June 2nd.
Okay.
And people think she's younger than what she is. Because how small she is, how tiny.
Yeah, she's very
her
small.
Enzo got that tiny gene.
She's
just real
12
small.
now, right?
Yeah, she'll be 13 June.
In June the 2nd.
She tell people I'm in 7th grade. They be like, oh, I thought you was a 5th grader. Because she's just so tiny.
Yeah, but once you talk to her, same thing with Enzo. You can talk to Enzo a little bit more than you can Madeline.
She's
like, getting there.
How old are you? Most people ask how old she is, like when she's working the window.
Oh, yeah.
How old are you? Because they think she's younger than what she is and how articulate she is and, good, quick on the math or whatever the situation may be.
But even for a 12-year-old, she's pretty quick.
She is. She's a very bright girl. Yeah.
It's wild how they get grown. And now your oldest is graduating from high school.
Oldest graduating, bro.
How you feel about that, man?
I really don't feel no way about it. I'm happy. I'm excited.
Sure.
But that's about as far as it goes. That's,
okay.
No
deep
I'm
reminiscing.
I'm still even keel with the emotions in that situation. We making some making some adjustments. You got it? Making some adjustments. Adjust.
I remember I was taught that before, but I forgot how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Microphone adjustment. Technical. Hello, check. Is this thing on? Is this... Hey. Oh. All right, we're back. Sorry.
Yeah.
So, no middle of the night.
No. I'm even killed about the whole situation. I'm ready. I'm going to see him go off to college.
Get out of my house.
I'm still debating if I want to take him to college or do I just want to just
send him off.
Does
he have a car?
Bon voyage. He will when college time roll around. He had a car. Remember, he got rear-ended a few months back.
I don't know if you
put the damn trunk in the back seat.
No, I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
How the hell did you not tell me about that?
I'm pretty sure I brought it up.
Man, I'm not going to forget that.
Oh, well, my bad.
Damn.
The day it happened was the day Annika's last day. It happened when we were going to see Annika off that day.
Really?
So we was there to see Annika off. Q calls us. Hey, I just got rear-ended. I just got into an accident.
I didn't even know.
That exact day, Annika. That's how I'm correlating the two.
Okay, yeah, sure.
And you remember that day.
Yeah, of course.
Shout out Annika. My wife's supposed to be mailing her off some popcorn this week.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she asked for a couple bags.
We're going to Ann Arbor for that big show I've told you about.
And she's
we're trying to
close
coordinate.
by there, right?
Well, she's in the UP, Upper Peninsula, so it's quite a drive, 7 hours or so from where we're going to be to where she's going to be. But we may meet her somewhere, or she may come down to Ann Arbor. I just don't know yet, but we're trying to organize it.
Man, she was always a good supporter of the business. She always came by almost weekly.
Great people.
She always came by and supported.
Her brother is a big time
her and
juggler.
her family.
Whole
that's what
family.
you said. Yeah. That's what you said.
Her brother's a big time juggler. They juggle in the park. They're probably juggling over there now. They say they juggle until 9. They do fire juggling after dark.
I want them to do the juggle the fire, then put it out in their mouth.
Man, I don't know. That's pretty badass if they do.
I like to see it.
Have you ever been to Annika's and Nick's parents' house?
Never.
Over in Madison?
Never.
Do you know what her father does?
I ain't got that in. I wasn't that close.
So, her dad, their whole basement is covered up with his hobby, which is pinball machines. Okay. He has like 20 or 25 pinball machines. Everything from this old pinball machine that's completely gravity operated that doesn't plug in at all to, I think his best one is the, my favorite one, what's it, the Big Lebowski. The Big Lebowski is a fun machine. Yeah, but I think he's got one that's newer and more updated than that. But he makes custom pulls. So like when you pull the handle on a pinball machine to shoot the ball, he makes custom shooters. In I guess
the Big Lebowski.
The Big Lebowski, the movie.
That was Escape New York dude, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Sure was.
Played Big Lebowski.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or damn, what was it? Lil Horror in China? What was the damn name of that one?
I didn't see that.
Yeah, he was in that like Japanese film. They was in like New York somewhere. He drove a truck and got caught in the middle of it. You know what I'm talking about?
Is that you talking about Escape from New York?
Escape from New York. We know Escape from New York.
Yeah.
But then there was another one.
There was an Escape from L.A. too, or something.
But
I can't remember which one came first.
In Little China or something like that. It was something. Oh man, it used to come on.
Big Trouble in Little China.
Big Trouble in Little China.
I didn't see it, but I've heard of it. Yeah,
Big Trouble in Little China. He played that one. Kurt Russell.
No, it's not Kurt Russell.
That's Gladiator.
Jeff Bridges. Thank you, Jeff Bridges. Yeah, exactly. Jeff Bridges. Shout out Jeff Bridges.
Shout out Jeff Bridges, man.
Big Lebowski was a good movie.
Big Lebowski was a good movie. It's been a while since I see the Big Lebowski.
I haven't seen it either in a long time. That shit's hilarious. It's like a combination of the, I don't know, man.
The Big Lebowski.
Big Lebowski. It's just its own thing. You
start calling yourself the Big Lebowski.
Nah, I don't think
I'm about to give you this Big Lebowski.
Walk around wearing a robe all the time.
The Big Lebowski. Oh, man. Big Trouble in Little China. Golly.
Yeah, I never saw that.
Man.
Maybe I need to go back and watch it.
You got any questions for my old man? This is the time to ask him. Like I said, he knew me as a child. You know, it ain't too many people that come around that knew you
That's a good point.
As a child, especially at my age.
So, Anthony, how long have you ever known each other? Huh? You tell me. How old were you when you met Q, and how did that happen?
This is my child from birth.
From birth. Yeah.
From birth. Before he ever came into the world.
Yes.
From birth.
Yes.
Okay.
So he knows me my whole life. He know me my whole life, Shane. How many people you come across that knew you your whole life? Or as a
nobody.
Kid? It's not every day I meet people that know me my whole life that I come across.
Whole life knew you as a kid?
Life, like,
not for me.
Older family members and stuff, especially with us being I guess I could say a road family. You know, we don't live where we grew up.
Right.
You know, so I'm not around a lot of
I was never around any of my family when I was young either. I don't have any grandparents left.
But your mom, your dad, your siblings.
They're still alive, yeah.
They're still alive.
Yeah, they're still alive, yeah.
But outside of that,
there's no
one else that knows you that knew you as a kid.
No, not even as a high schooler.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's nobody in my life that knew me as a high schooler. Yeah. But I'm pretty nomadic.
He probably know more about me than I know about me.
Yes, I do.
I mean, really. Because just think all the things you know about your kids, Daniel.
Okay, good point. Yeah,
that they don't even know, and they be like, "No, I didn't do that," or "No, that I wasn't there."
Yes,
you know,
did.
like, "Yeah, I was there."
Good point.
Good point.
All right.
You know, so he know more shit about me than I do.
Quint was bad. He was a badass.
Oh, I already knew that.
I tell you, he was bad. When you
opened up too tough.
When you get a when the school call you and basically tell you to come get your kid, and he get put out from elementary school.
I got put out of elementary school.
When you get put out of elementary school,
he knows better
Tell
than I
this
do.
story,
I was
Anthony.
just
What happened
mad.
here?
when your kid get put out of elementary school,
No, I got put out the district. I couldn't go to no elementary school in the district.
He basically was.
We had to move.
He was that damn bad.
Elementary school.
This in elementary.
So what got him kicked out of elementary school? Tell me that story.
You name it, he pretty much done it. He was one of those kids where as though they put him in the classroom, they put him to the back of the room. He's still causing trouble. They move him far away. He's still causing trouble. And the principals call up his mother and I and tell us, hey, look, y'all got to come up here. And basically told us he can't come back.
I remember that principal, Dr. Dubose.
Yes, he can't come back. Mm-hmm. So his mother had to end up moving into Cobb County. And basically,
so that's how you ended up in Cobb County. Now we know the origin story because you were bad in school.
If I told that story, people like, you didn't get kicked out of elementary school.
Yes, he did.
I got kicked out of elementary school. How many kids
school.
got kicked out of elementary school?
2.
You know 2.
You and one other. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
When I was in elementary school, kid got kicked out.
Yeah, they kicked me out. They kicked me out of elementary school, Shane.
Wow.
I thought there was no kid left behind. That was before Bush.
Depends on how bad you are, though.
Damn.
If you're bad enough, they'll just leave you behind.
When I needed
Where's
him?
George Bush when you need
George Bush when I ain't no kid left behind.
George Bush does not care about black people. Remember Kanye West after the hurricane? He said it on the news.
George Bush don't care about black people. I was a horrible kid, man.
Yeah?
Because growing up.
Did you ever hurt anybody, though?
No.
Did anybody ever accidentally get hurt because you did something monumentally stupid?
I wasn't bad in that sense.
Okay.
Like from a violent point of view.
Sure.
He was this
mischievous.
He was so
hard-headed.
So
Let me think if I can think. Look, I'm going to give you a list of 10 adjectives, and you tell me if they would apply. All right, we already said mischievous and hard-headed.
Okay.
Let me think. I don't know if I can do all 10. Let me come up with 10 that I think would apply to Q, and you can confirm or deny, Anthony. Let's see. Class clown.
No.
Not the class clown. Interesting. Juvenile delinquent.
No.
Okay, that's a good one.
That was later.
That's a good one.
Yes.
That was later.
Okay. Disrespectful.
Never.
He
knew better than that.
Yeah,
never disrespectful.
I'm still respectful.
He wouldn't be here.
All right.
Yeah, I never
Trust
was a disrespectful
me, he would
kid.
not be here.
How about adventurous?
Yes.
Yeah.
Fearless.
Yes.
Definitely.
Okay. How about anti-authoritarian?
Never
Anti-authoritarian?
Never.
Okay.
No, he knew better than that.
Yeah.
He knew better than to allow that to be seen.
Because he knew if we got calls of him being disrespectful, anti-authoritarian or whatever, he knew he couldn't come home because his ass was well whipped or whatever.
Have you listened to this podcast?
No.
I thought so. All right. Let's see. I got one more. If my count is right, I got one more. Let's make it a good one. How about... Trustworthy.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
I wasn't a thief, Shane, or that like that.
No, of course not.
I'm just trying to think of ways you wouldn't trust people, Yeah.
But trustworthy means if you say you're going to do something, you either do it or there was a damn good reason why. Yeah. Damn good reason.
Because growing up, it was always taught from me that if you say you're going to do something, be a man of your word. Because I was learned from a long time ago, God bless my preacher's wife, Sister Pitt, she always taught us that if your word ain't no good, you ain't no good.
You ain't no good.
That's really all you got in the day.
That's
your
all
word
you got.
Is your bud.
Exactly right. And that's all code. That's me and his code.
That's all you got.
You know, we talked about in Western civilization, if you stole somebody's horse, that was a hanging offense because that might leave them stranded. They may die. You know, that was, but you could shoot somebody for calling you a liar.
Oh, yeah.
Under the rules of the West, you could draw down and shoot somebody for calling you a liar because if you couldn't, there weren't contracts and courts and what have you. People had to be able to count on your word. Excuse me. As your bond, and if people couldn't count on you, they wouldn't do business with you, and you'd never survive. And so, like, I'm not saying we ought to shoot each other for calling them liars, but that's a strong,
Yeah.
You need to have facts based up when you call somebody a liar.
Call me a liar.
Call me a liar. What?
Oh, them fighting words.
But on the flip side, if you're a liar, somebody needs to call you out for it.
They do.
I agree.
They need to call you out for it. Somebody
Because if you lie, you'll cheat.
If you
For
lie,
sure.
you'll cheat.
For sure. Yeah.
If you
That's
lie, you'll cheat.
If you have that general dishonesty about you,
Good, brother.
man. Yeah, I just can't get comfortable, man. I don't know.
Okay.
So, yeah, if you have a general dishonesty about you, you can't, you can't even function in life correctly. I really just believe that. If you're the kind of person who, sees 20 laying on somebody's desk right there, but their back is turned and you slip the 20, who knows whose it was, but it's definitely not yours.
Mm-hmm.
That's not found money.
Correct.
That's,
Absolutely.
You did something dishonest. And if you'll do something at that small level, then you'll do it at the largest level.
Yeah, that's true.
But can a person change?
Person can change.
I haven't always been a man of my word. I'll be honest about that. I've struggled with.
Okay.
As a younger man, I've struggled with
self-reflection, self-accountability.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. But I try to pride myself now and I'll do what I say I'm going to do.
Yeah. And if I don't do what I said I was going to do, it's probably a good reason. And more than likely, I probably just forgot, done said something and then forgot. But I try to follow up on everything I say I'm going to do. That's me personally. You
know what I found? Going with that, hand in hand with doing what you say you're going to do, is don't say you're going to do something unless you know you can.
Unless you know you can.
Wilt Chamberlain's book, remember we talked about that book a couple times, but I'll never forget a quote from that. He said, if I say a mouse can pull a house, hook him up.
Hook him up.
Hook him up. Because I already know.
That's
I
how
tested
good
it.
My word is, yeah.
I checked it. I know. I'm not just talking out of my ass, making up something, willy-nilly. If I tell you something, it's because I already know I can do it and I will do it. And if I can't, if I say, hey, listen, I don't know if I can or not, maybe I can. I've never done that before, whatever it is, okay. But if I tell you, yes, I can, hook him up.
Hook him up.
Hook him up, because that means I've done it already and I know it can happen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't underestimate my ability to do anything, but until I've tried it once, I don't know whether or not I can.
You got to do a little R&D. We didn't know we can do this podcast till we can.
That's right. Till we just started doing it.
Till we just started doing it.
We didn't know we were going to be this fantastic. We thought we were just going to be like a regular mediocre podcast. And when you think about the greatness that we've achieved in this room here.
In 6 months, 8 months?
It's astounding.
However long we've been doing it?
Something like that.
We're still fledglings.
We are fledglings.
We really are.
But it's only because people don't know about us.
In this realm. It's going
as
to get out. It's gonna
as
get
they
out
hear
there.
our content, how could you resist?
Yeah. Most people, I haven't talked to nobody that listened to the podcast that did not enjoy it.
Now, I wonder if those people just avoid us.
What you mean?
Now, they don't want to talk to us if they didn't enjoy it. I don't know.
I don't know.
It's all about perseverance, guys.
Perseverance.
For sure.
And that's what we're doing. We're persevering.
And we're moving up.
With our 5 listeners.
Shout out our 5 listeners.
Right. Because you know how what it takes to start a fire is what?
You got to have the smallest kindling.
You got to have one spark.
One spark.
All it needs is one spark to start a fire.
That's true. One spark.
All it takes is a spark.
One candle can light 1,000.
What was our spark?
Shoot. Our wives?
I think it was
maybe
friction build up.
They came
we
together.
were like the whole friction.
I mean, they're the ones that said that we should do the podcast.
I think
right?
I think that's
like,
true.
Y'all guys just need to go and start a podcast.
Talk enough as it is.
You talk enough ish. Like we need to put this on paper. We need to put this on wax. Or did we come up? I don't know. I don't know. I can't even remember the true origin.
It's kind of serendipity that we're all at the same place at the same time, week after week, and all the pieces that we need.
They just kind of came together.
To make this podcast just happen to be there. And they were sitting there the whole time. It took us 4 years to figure it out. To figure out that there was something there. That's interesting.
Yep.
Always remember, guys, in your podcast, God will give you everything you need.
Yep. Agreed.
He'll give you everything
we got everything we need.
All you got to do is make one step. Make one step and have a little bit of faith.
Take the step.
If the first step is the one you believe in, the second one might be profound.
Who's that? Is that Shane? Is that original piece?
No, that's Shine Down.
Oh, I thought you had original.
No, that's
there.
not original.
I was about to say, what you said the day at Camp the Amp, and I was like, you need to put that on the shirt, Shane. You said something. I was like,
I don't remember now. I talk a lot of ish.
If it makes you happy, it must be right. You said something, or something along those lines.
So that might be it. If it makes you happy, it must be right.
If it makes you happy, it must.
I thought about
right.
later that night though.
You thought about that?
Yeah, I did. Like everything that makes you happy ain't right.
Why not?
You ever done cocaine?
No. I done seen people on cocaine.
Trust me when I tell you, at first, it makes you happy.
It's a hell of a crash.
I mean, that's what they say. I never did enough of it to really have. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not fixing to talk out of my ass.
You ain't been rich enough either.
Exactly. If I had been a millionaire,
let's let you get a little money, Shane.
If I had been a millionaire when I crossed past,
a damn mountain up there,
dude,
I
you
come in there,
know
you
what
sit
I
at
would
the
have
desk
been.
with a mountain.
I'll be up there with Joey Diaz on his podcast. Cocksucker. Yeah, no. So I don't have like any kind of crazy horror stories.
I don't think,
but I'm just saying that they say heroin makes you.
Just let me control all the money, Shane, when we get it.
They say heroin makes you very. No, I'm over that shit now. Yeah, that's fine. I buy a big bag of weed and that'd be about it. Mr. Producer Man, thank you, sir. He saw me reach for my glass a couple of times.
Thank you.
So there you go. We're talking about self-reflection. We got your father here. Maybe you have some advice for me. You're not that much older than I am, though. Would you say you are 61?
61. I'll be 61 in June.
All right. I'll be 54 in September. So you got a couple of years on me. But either way, you've got a perspective that I don't have, and that's what kind of we're interested in. Like, I don't care how old or young you are.
It's called the black perspective, Shane.
Damn, Q.
I'm just joking. Go ahead. It's called the black perspective. Yeah, you got a different perspective.
But I mean, that's true, though. That is true. And the perspective of a black man who is 61 years old is different from the perspective of a black man who is 31 years old.
Correct.
Very.
Oh, yeah.
You've seen different things than a 31-year-old would have. You know, whatever you want to say about how things are now, they were worse 31 years ago. That's a fact. Would you agree?
Yes.
Or am I talking out of my ass now? I was looking for confirmation. You kind of looked at me like, you don't know what you're talking about. He said white boy in his head just a second for that right there. I know you did. I'm just kidding. But, I mean, there is a difference in perspective there, and that's kind of what we're all about here.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know why I set this thing up.
I don't know. Go ahead.
We'll go with it now.
Keep going.
I don't know what I was saying. I felt like I had a profound point.
I think things are different for me at 40 compared
For
to
sure.
someone that's 61, coming from a black perspective.
For sure.
Yeah.
And it all depends on, like, you grew up in Atlanta.
Yes.
In
Downtown.
Atlanta.
Downtown
For real,
Atlanta.
downtown
Yes.
Atlanta. That has its own perspective. I'm not familiar with it, of course.
Yes.
But that's going to be different from, what was the name of that crazy town you lived in Mississippi? Was it Mississippi, Missouri? What was the name of that place?
Knob Nasty.
Knob Nasty.
Knob Noster.
Knob
Shout out
Noster.
Knob Noster, Missouri.
You know, downtown Atlanta is going to be a lot different
Way
than Knob
different
Noster,
Knob
Missouri,
Noster.
you know?
Man.
And so,
Trust me, it is.
I'm sure.
Yes.
I'm sure.
Only black I seen in Knob Noster was black cows.
Black cows.
It was more cows than black folks. It was very rural. Very rural.
We all bring something to the table.
Yeah, we do.
But I was reflecting
I
with
think
my
that's what
son.
makes this good.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all bring something different.
Sometimes
to the table.
I've always
it's not
said
just one flavor.
I've always said diversity just for diversity's sake is not really a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
But in a creative endeavor and as a matter of trying to learn something, I think that it always is.
That is
the more
that is
different
100%.
perspectives you can bring to a
Yes.
project, you know, the more then that makes me wonder, okay, maybe that is correct when it comes to something like science. Because any breakthrough requires creativity, right? And creativity is going to require a different thought process.
Right.
If only you think about the same thing you've been thinking about, you got to wait till somebody comes along with a new idea.
With a new idea.
Nobody knew that what Jordan did was possible until Jordan came around.
Right,
That's the difference
right.
between Jordan and Kobe. Kobe is one of the greatest of all time. Jordan is the greatest of all time. And the difference is Kobe took what Jordan did and did it as well as a human being could possibly. He replicated that as well as a human being possibly could. Jordan made it up. Big difference.
Yes.
Big difference. We didn't know it was possible until Jordan did it.
Above the
4-minute
rim.
mile. Remember the 4-minute mile? You're old
Right
enough to
above
remember
the
when
rim.
the 4-minute mile was broken. That was a big deal. The doctor said the human heart couldn't handle the stress of a human being running a 4-minute mile.
And now it's every day.
And then one dude does it, and in the same year, like 4
Right.
more people did it.
Yep.
And now college athletes
What
can
we
hit the
seen
4-minute
what was
mile.
possible.
When we see exactly.
What was possible.
But somebody's got to stand up and say, you know, this is possible, and I'll lead the way. And if it messes up, you know, I'm Captain Kirk or whatever on the bridge, and I'll be I'll take responsibility.
Yeah.
That comes from having courage.
Courage. True courage.
True courage.
True courage is going against what
Ain't that's
everybody
what
else
the lion
says.
wanted in the Wizard of Oz? The lion wanted heart Who won?
Courage.
Courage. No, the lion wanted courage. Yeah,
Courage.
He was a cowardly lion. Yeah, yeah.
Cowardly lion. He wanted courage.
Courage.
Shout out the lion. Roar.
But just going back and talking about the diversity or whatever, what a lot of people don't know, I don't think my son even knows. I have been around dealing with minorities and white people since I was the age of 13 years old.
You said as a minority?
No, excuse me. The white race.
Right.
Dealing with the white race.
Mm-hmm.
I have been in that arena since I was 13 years old.
Okay.
Explain. What does that mean?
I've been dealing with them my whole life.
Yeah.
Practically coming from the inner city.
Okay.
Coming from the inner city, kids from the inner city really never got the chance to really go to school with the white kids back in the mid to late 70s.
Sure.
And being able to go to school with white kids, it really gave me a different perspective on life. I really think I am where I am because of the background that I came from. Because it taught me how to deal with white people from a very young age. And going through that, it had really helped me in my career.
Mm-hmm.
Because every job that I've always had, I was almost practically the only black male in that company starting out.
Right.
And I think that come from the upbringing of learning how to deal with white people.
That's an interesting turn of phrase. I have a couple questions.
Deal with white people.
But deal with white people.
I understand.
I understand it too, 100%.
I understand because I'm black.
Sure.
But for someone
I'm white and I understand
that's white that's listening might need a little bit more context.
I think I can handle that.
On that.
Because I've spent an awful lot of time in my life
dealing with black
people.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not that just means that we have differences.
Correct.
There are cultural differences probably in our DNA.
Very much so.
And there are differences in culture that are real.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And rather than look away from those, if we learn how to deal with those.
Correct.
The word deal sometimes I guess might be a negative connotation, but I don't think so. If we make a deal, that's a good thing, right?
Yes,
if we make a deal on any kind of,
it is.
Correct. Yeah.
Do we have a deal?
Right.
Yes, we
Agreed.
shake on it, and
Yes.
now we're all happy. Now we have drinks, whatever it is, whether
Agreed,
it's selling
Shane.
a car or buying a company.
Yep.
Making a deal is a damn good thing. You have something I want, I have something you want. We're trying to work together.
Right.
So in my opinion, that's how you meant that. I hope I'm.
You're absolutely correct
we're
because
making a deal.
Making it sound like that, I still have friends that from the age I was 13, 14 years old, white guys that I'm still friend with till this day that I went to school with, high school with. So
I do have a couple questions. One is, how was that facilitated? You said, so at what age did you go to school with white people, and how did that happen?
Starting at the age of 12 years old.
Okay, let me ask a question. So
Sure.
before 12, you wasn't allowed to go to school with white folks?
No,
Or
it
it was just...
right. So we went to school. In Atlanta, you went to the elementary school to where as though what neighborhood you lived in.
And everything was segregated.
And everything was somewhat segregated.
Correct. Okay.
And once I hit middle school, my neighborhood was a school that was to go to a middle school that was on the Georgia Tech campus. That was at the time it was O'Keefe Middle School, and O'Keefe Middle School was a school that was basically integrated.
Okay.
Intentionally.
Yes.
Okay.
And what year was this?
And this was 1977.
Wow.
When I
that
went
still
to
don't seem
O'Keefe.
that long ago.
Yes.
No, but
God.
it's a lifetime ago.
God.
Right.
Depending
on where you live.
1977.
Yeah.
Yes.
But still, like,
Coleman,
man.
Alabama in
Yes.
77.
Yeah.
We can't go together.
Right.
I don't know you, Q.
Yeah. Nope.
I'm forgetting a sandwich. I don't know what you're going
Right.
to do.
Wow.
I'll bring you back
So-
a half.
I mean, okay.
Yeah, it was tough out there. Yeah.
Yes, it was very.
And I don't know
tough.
how it was in Atlanta. So you're 12 years old, and your whole life so far, you've only gone to school definitely with, I mean, were there any white people at all?
No,
not
it
one.
Was my whole elementary. It was entirely black kids.
That one crack whore that ended up in the projects, she didn't have a kid in the, nothing?
It was
okay.
all black kids.
Okay.
All black kids.
Is it safe to assume that in your daily life, most of your interactions were probably with black people too?
Yes.
Very few.
Yep.
Let me chime in. I could say even for myself, going to elementary school, it was all black kids.
Yes.
And I'm even in my generation. So his generation is way,
elementary school is usually your neighborhood.
Correct.
And I mean, I guess now I live in a very integrated
only
neighborhood.
Only time I saw white people was because that crackhead that came.
That one crackhead that lived in the neighborhood.
That came in the neighborhood or whatever. Yep. And they didn't live in the neighborhood; they came to the neighborhood.
Yeah.
We didn't live. We didn't live around other white folks, white kids growing up.
And the only reason
our whole neighborhood was black.
So,
and Atlanta is a black city, so
yes,
it's easy. It's easy to say that.
Can
Atlanta
I make a self-retraction here?
Go ahead.
I'm not comfortable with something I've just said.
Okay.
And since this is real and live, and we always keep it real and live, then we say whatever the hell we say. But I'm not comfortable with something I just said, and I want to retract it. I don't mean to imply that if it's a black neighborhood, well, naturally there would be crackheads.
But
there.
I understand.
I'm not comfortable.
The only time a white person comes to our neighborhood is to buy drugs.
Is to buy drugs. He's absolutely right.
A white person didn't live in our neighborhood.
I just want to. I want to make sure that I try to be careful about that. I mean no disrespect, and I feel like
but it's true.
It sounds fucked up, but it may be true. I never lived in the neighborhood, and I don't want to be presumptuous. You know what I'm saying?
You ain't being presumptuous. That's a fact, Jack.
That is a fact.
So
yeah.
We don't edit this, almost never.
No.
We're not going to edit this.
No.
But I want it known that I'm not comfortable assuming that the black neighborhood is where the crackheads go. Even if it is, it may or may not be true. I never lived there. You know what I'm saying?
A white person ain't hanging around here just because they like to hang around black folks. Nope. Go ahead, Shay. Ask your question. I'm sorry.
Yeah, because we knew.
That's a fascination for a sizable percentage of white women. I'm just saying. You know it's true. You laugh because you know it's true.
I'm coming from the 80s and the 90s. It wasn't like that.
It wasn't acceptable then.
It wasn't acceptable.
It was still like that, but it wasn't acceptable.
Yeah, it wasn't acceptable then. Yeah.
Big Booty Judy was still looking with one eye over the tracks. I guarantee. I'm just saying, man.
I'm the daddy of that baby. I'm the daddy of that baby.
So, all right. So getting back on track then.
Okay.
So you're 12 years old. Mm-hmm. And now all of a sudden you go to a school that is, say, what percentage?
It was about 50-50.
50-50.
That's a good percentage.
That's a good percentage.
Yep.
Sure.
About 50-50.
Just whites and blacks, no Asians?
There were some Asians. There were some Hispanics in there. So it was a cultural mixture of
You would say
people.
A good melting pot.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Very good melting pot.
Like Huntsville.
Huntsville is a
becoming that way for sure.
Melting pot.
I think so. You meet people from all over here.
Yeah, you do. People all over coming to Huntsville.
Yep. I love being in Huntsville because of that.
Even to his point, I never had no white friends growing up, Shane. Never. I can't name not one white friend I had growing up. And he came in a couple generations before me, and he still got white friends to this day from a kid. I didn't even get that experience.
And you grew up amongst white people?
Once I got to like middle school, high school. Once we moved to Cobb County. Once we moved out of Atlanta. Atlanta is a black city.
For sure.
Now it's probably not still considered. But when I came up, Atlanta was a black city. Yeah, a chocolate city.
It was a chocolate city. Remember the mayor of New Orleans said that? New Orleans will be a chocolate city. So I didn't even start going to school with white kids till I got in middle school, high school. And even then, I didn't have white friends. All my friends looked like me. All my friends was black. I didn't get the white experience, as it were, till I got into the military. The white experience. I was a low-key racist before I joined the military. You're still a low-key racist. I probably am. Just a little bit. Less than you were, I'm sure. It ain't color no more. It's just ignorance. Yeah, color. But I hate ignorant people of any race. Ignorant people. Yeah, the color don't matter no more. If you stupid and ignorance, that's what I'm racist against now. You know, if you stupid. But 77 in Atlanta, you're from the hood, basically. From the hood. Yeah, from the hood. Yeah. Yep. And you go, first of all, it must have been just the facilities available at a campus that's on the Georgia Tech campus. Had to have been sanctioned by Georgia Tech, right? Well, no, this was property that was owned by the Board of Education that was literally in the heart of the Georgia Tech campus. Gotcha. Or whatever. Okay. But yeah. Okay. But still, they're not going to let it be. You know, I'm sure
Right.
I'm sure you had resources available there.
Oh, yes.
You know, if this was a planned situation where they were intentionally integrating it, I'm sure they tried to do it right.
Right.
How was that different from the schools you'd been to?
Oh, man.
Were the inner city schools less funded?
It was so eye-opening because there was going to that school on that Georgia Tech campus, it opened up my eyes to what I do today for a living.
Which is?
Engineering.
Okay.
It opened up my eyes.
Do you feel like that you maybe wouldn't have pursued that career had you gone to a high school that would have normally tracked from the elementary schools you went to?
Probably not.
Interesting.
No, probably not.
So you're a success story you're a DEI success story. I mean, let's be honest. We didn't call it DEI back then. It was what, affirmative action probably in 77?
Yeah.
But it's the same thing. So shout out one for affirmative action.
Shout it out.
You know?
Yep.
One person that could have gone to another path took a path of productivity and, you know?
Because he got that culture early on.
Yeah.
See
the possibilities of a degree in something more that you could
else.
do.
Right.
And I doubt we was preaching engineering in our communities. That wasn't nothing that was
It
a
was
word
not,
that wasn't even talked about.
No,
I'm
it
the
was
engineer,
not.
huh? What's an engineer?
What's an engineer, huh? Then you make fun of that person because deep inside you wish you had had different opportunities.
You didn't even think being an engineer was possible.
You didn't think it was possible, yeah.
Because we didn't see no other engineers. We didn't see no black engineers.
You knew it was impossible.
Yeah,
a generation before that, a black person couldn't get into a high school. A good college, right?
That's true.
When was the whole George Wallace in Alabama standing in the door? That was in the late '60s, right?
Yes.
Around the Vietnam War.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what you see on TV. I'm not trying to project onto you because everybody I saw on TV was white. You know, I thought I could be an astronaut if I wanted to. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I was like, let's just be 100% honest.
Yes.
It was never a question to me. I got other issues, of course. I'm still, but. That one, every role model was white. Everybody on TV was white. There was one black dude on every show.
That's so true.
Then the Jeffersons came out.
Moving on up.
But we've talked about this before. Anthony, my father fought a couple tours in Vietnam, and kind of broke a cycle of that. I was not raised like we could watch the Jeffersons. That was fine.
Right.
We couldn't watch Fred Sanford. But there's a big difference. You know what I'm saying? The interracial couple wasn't the issue. It was Fred Sanford's mouth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yes.
We could,
understand.
we couldn't watch Dukes of Hazzard either.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But it was okay to watch The Cosby Show. I mean, nobody missed The Cosby Show. Come on, man.
Right.
In the 80s, everybody watched Cosby.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't a matter of my father was real good to make sure that in our house, we couldn't say the word geek because he thought it was a racial slur against Chinese people, which I guess maybe it used to be.
So,
now it just,
Bob Knox.
Shout out Bob Knox.
Shout out Bob Knox. He didn't mess around when it came to race.
There was no, oh no.
Okay, I have my mic working.
Yo.
Whoa, hey. Mr. Producer, man.
Kevin,
welcome aboard,
Kevin
sir.
the Boss Man Richardson.
Kevin the Boss Man Richardson. Right in the middle of this conversation, he's going to chime in. He's like, I got something to say about this shit y'all are saying. Let me plug this mic in.
On
I
to
thought
Chronicles.
this is important to mention.
Uh-oh.
When you mentioned black people not being able to get into good colleges,
okay,
they did a study, or they investigated the Ivy League schools.
Okay.
And they uncovered through like some covert operations, they intentionally try to keep the percentage of white students at Harvard. This just recently came out at like 98%.
Wow.
So when they look through applicants based on the backgrounds and everything, Asian, everyone else, I think it's like 3%.
Really?
And when they get to that cap, they don't approve the rest of that.
I heard they were actively discriminated against Asians because some reason I don't remember why.
That's for all other races other than
really
none.
So now
just white.
None white, not black, just none white, just
it's
none
good
white.
to be king. Walking up. I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
Hey,
that's messed up.
Yeah.
Look, I never went to community college, so that's all above my ability. But I do recognize the fact, if you grow up in South Central, there's two paths that you see. One is a bum, and the other one is a drug dealer. You don't see anything but that.
That you see in the community.
That you're aware of. Nobody that looks like you, talks like you, comes from where you come from, that you know of. There's probably people that got out and became successful, but you don't hear about those people. If you look
at it from a percentage, I bet it's very small.
Very small.
Very small.
If you never see what's possible, Like, if you didn't know there was fish in the ocean, why would you throw a hook out there? Mm-hmm. You would never throw a hook out there if you never could see beyond what it is that you've seen. And, I think that there are still communities where, now, if you're from the suburbs of Atlanta, I ain't talking about inner city Atlanta. I'm talking about you're from Buckhead.
Buckhead.
Right.
I don't care what color your skin is. Shut up.
You from Buckhead.
But
I went to school in Buckhead.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
Where, you talking about, was this part of the... hold on.
I went to high school in Buckhead.
You went to high school?
Hard at Buckhead.
Okay.
With some rich people.
What was the name of that school?
North Fulton High School.
North Fulton.
Okay.
Most people went to Washington.
So you went from elementary school in the hood.
Correct.
To middle school on the campus of Georgia Tech to high school in Buckhead.
Correct.
Moving on up.
Moving on up.
To the north side.
Yep.
It's all about knowing what's possible, though.
Yep.
The 4 minute
That is so
mile.
true.
It's the 4 minute mile.
And I got to see a good role model.
And I was just going to say, then you raise somebody with the perspectives that you had by after having been given an opportunity to see things that might have been outside your normal reach. And as a result, it's a generational change.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
It's a generational change because you can take that all the way through to, as you said, Lil Q, who's graduating tomorrow. Shout out Q.
And he going to school to be a doctor.
And he's going to school to be a doctor. He's going in the medical field.
Right.
Congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
A job well done.
Thank you.
A job well done, if I can be presumptuous enough to say that as a younger man. But I think that all of us, our job here is to leave this place better than we found it.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely, Shane.
if you found it in the situation of a young black kid in inner city Atlanta, whatever you can do to make that better has generational effects. And it comes down to the point where Lil Q, has he ever seen real racism?
Never.
What do you think, Anthony? Has he ever seen real racism?
Never. He's always been the only black kid in a lot of his classes.
Not saying that it doesn't still exist.
No,
but
yeah.
in no small part to your influence, 2 generations later, we've made a real and noticeable, a positive, measurable change.
That was my whole goal.
Well done, sir.
That was the goal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wish we could all say the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Can you say?
Yes.
You can say the same? The next generation is going to be better for sure?
Yes.
I think I can say the same too.
And just looking from as a parent to my kids.
Dude, you got great kids.
They're definitely gonna be better than me. And I mean, just
what you mean gonna be, man? Leilani's already.
They already better.
See, Anthony, what you don't know is I knew Leilani really before I met Leilani first.
It's going on 6 years.
I met Lil Wooden
when she was like 6 or 7.
So she would come over to my booth and put a train together.
Oh, okay.
And just make a little 6-year-old nuisance of herself or whatever it was she was doing. But she had fun, I had fun, and the next thing you know, you're going to meet parents, you know.
Right.
Eventually,
Right.
she's over at the booth enough where we got to at least be like, hey, if she's bad, send her back over here. I'm like, no, I'll bring her back over there if she's bad. I'll let you know. And then, slowly became there. So Leilani and I are, dude, it was so fun watching her make balloons on Sunday.
Oh, man, she's a natural.
She's a natural, man.
Yeah.
She just comes up with new ideas. That little girl is so creative.
Savant.
She is so creative. It's fun to watch her. Leilani's great.
She is.
Yep. She's going to be part of that change the world generation.
Yeah. So that's a little history lesson, Shane.
Little history lesson. This has been an interesting dive.
A little history lesson.
So I'm going to take charge for a second if I can.
Go ahead, brother. You've been cooking all night.
I'm going to take charge by giving charge.
You the head chef.
No. Listen, man. I'm just
Is it the sous chef? No, the sous chef second in command.
I'm definitely the sous chef.
No,
definitely the sous chef, without a doubt.
The sous chef,
and
that's hitting
floor
all the
sweeper.
vegetables. Like I'm just passing it to you to make you look good.
No, I'm chopping the carrots for you, brother.
Nah.
But listen,
you
I'm gonna
cooking, Shay. You keep cooking.
We always end these episodes with words of wisdom.
Yes, we do.
Anthony, you said you haven't listened to our podcast yet, so I hope you'll maybe check out an episode. But either way, you are the ranking senior member. I usually am.
Yep.
Right.
I'm usually the old guy in the room. But Q always does words of wisdom, and I'm taking it from him. I'm not even going to give him a chance because his real dad is here.
Yeah.
And I'm passing the torch for the night of words of wisdom, whatever it is. You can quote a poem. You can give me some song. Whatever it is that you think. We've already established that you are a generational change maker.
Most definitely.
So give our viewers something they can think about over the week until Q takes back over on Words of Wisdom next week. I'm gonna leave it to you.
Oh my God, that's tough right there. Oh man, that's a tough one there.
No
You caught
pressure.
me off guard.
But
Wow.
don't fucking-
Wasn't expecting that when I sit down here. Oh God, words of wisdom. And I'm never like a person that's who's lost for words. but tonight, you caught me off guard.
This is gonna be recorded for posterity, and someday when we're a top 10 podcast, people are going to come back and listen to this. It may be important people that may base what they say on you.
Mm-hmm.
Words of wisdom that I could give the people
in the bowels.
In the bowels of Huntsville.
In the bowels of
Oh wow! What is it? My words of wisdom out to the people.
Mm-hmm.
Always believe in who you are.
Okay.
Believe in who you are, what you are. And my thing that I always taught Quint, you got to stand for something. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything.
That's correct. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just have that self-confidence. And my main thing is, as you walk through life, trust in God.
Uh-huh.
Trust in God. And forget about what man says, and people that put you down and knock you down around you. Just trust in God.
Mm-hmm.
He'll give you everything you need.
You heard it here.
Vendor Chronicles.
Vendor Chronicles.
We're out.
Peace.